Hello.
Howdy.
We got week 6.
Sure enough, do.
Week 5 is done. Week 6 is up.
Finally.
Yeah, our picks were kind of hit and miss. We'll run through those quick and then we'll do how many games do we have this week? 13, 14? Let's see. 14, just like last week. So 4 buys.
Yep.
Let's rip through it.
Let's do
Josh
it.
got the Vikings right. I got the Panthers horribly wrong. The Bears look good against bad teams, I guess. Uh, I got the Dolphins right. They were trailing a lot of the game, but they pulled it out. I got the Jags right. We both got the Bills wrong. They got way down, and then they rallied and just couldn't pull it
Yeah.
out.
Well, Josh Allen was maybe concussed, potentially.
Oh,
So,
really? I didn't get to see it, so I was just following on my phone. I didn't know that. So he didn't
yeah, I
finish
didn't see it
the game?
either, but that's what they're saying that he whacked his head against the turf, I think.
Did he
And
finish the
then,
game?
yeah, because he went out and he said he had like a high ankle sprain or something, or like an ankle sprain or something, or I don't know.
Very high ankle sprain.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
High all the way up to here, in fact.
the Bengals. I don't care what you say. The Bengals was the right side, and they lose by 3. So I
And
missed that.
overtime
Whatever.
in a back and forth game.
The Giants might be decent. They beat the Seahawks on the road without Neighbors and pretty much controlled the whole game. I mean, they fumbled at the 1 yard line, and Seattle returned it 102 yards for a score to start the game, and they still pounded the Seahawks. So
Yeah.
that was interesting. And then the Saints couldn't quite hold on against the Chiefs. Josh had that, but I mean, Carr got hurt. He didn't play the last series. That game was kind of up and
Yeah.
down, I guess. The beefcake for the Saints, that was kind of funny watching him run it back to like the 40-yard line after picking that one off in the end zone. But
Yeah.
all right, so overall, like I said, right around 500 for us collectively. Nothing to brag about. When we have something to brag about, we'll let you know.
Oh,
The
for
only
sure we
thing,
will.
I am 6-3 on my 3 stars, so I'll just hang my hat on that until that goes
That's
sour.
great.
All right, so let's do it. We got the 49ers at the Seahawks in 2 days for Thursday night football. And all of a sudden, both teams maybe aren't that good. I don't know. I have
San
the
Francisco's winless in that division. That's weird. They're 0
what's
and
that?
3 right now. San Francisco's 0 and 3 against the division right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, if a tiebreaker
Right?
comes into play,
I mean, they need this win. They need this victory against the Seahawks. They don't have a choice.
right? Yeah, interesting. All right,
Yeah.
so I have Niners by 4.
I have the Seahawks giving 2.
All right, you have Seahawks by 2. Give me a minute to pull up the old line
Yeah.
skis. Loading. Got the old hotel internet connection. Doing this from Utah. As you can tell, we're not in person. I'm almost there. Spinning
Do.
until it loads. So it's Niners 3.5 ish.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna do something timed out here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Who knows? Utah's weird with their laws. They probably restricted the covers.com that I'm trying to go to. So we're just
Oh,
going to do it
maybe.
off of Yahoo Sports lines that they have. So what do they got right now? They have San Francisco 3.5, like I said. So I
Yeah.
get that one. So what do we think about that? I don't know. Like I thought about going lower, but it just feels like the 49ers have crushed the Seahawks. Like they've just beaten them a lot the last few years, even when Seattle's been decent. And Seattle just hasn't looked good lately. So I think, like you don't like the Niners are still probably going to be really good. So you don't want to go low or really favor the Seahawks, but they haven't looked good enough for it to be, a touchdown or anything like that. So I kind of just settled in the middle there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a Seahawks line. It's at the Seahawks. They haven't, the Niners haven't looked good. Of late they've lost some games. I feel like they should have won. So I mean, it's weird to me that they're favored.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I was like, Seahawks went, Sunday afternoon to Thursday, but so did the Niners, so that doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think it would be fair anywhere around to pick them either way.
Yeah.
Maybe the Niners is the side just because it is a little higher. I don't really know. I'm not gonna pick this for sure because I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's no consistency between either of those two teams at this point.
No,
and then it's a short week.
Right. And the Seahawks have looked, I don't want to say progressively worse, but they've not looked great the last two games.
Right. Maybe we'll find out who's a pretender and who isn't after this game.
I guess. Yeah, definitely.
So the Niners are, I mean, 2-3. That's crazy.
It's just almost inexplicable given, I guess it's time to start talking about preseason stuff, but it was like people already crowned him a Super Bowl, put him in the Super Bowl, and they just have not lived up. And I know they've got some injuries, but
weren't they up by 2 scores against the Cardinals in the second half? Like, did you watch that game? What happened?
I didn't watch that game. I mean, they were up against the Rams, and the Rams had a furious comeback.
Yeah.
And then, they were up. They were up pretty big. They were up 23-10 in the second quarter. And then the Cardinals hold them scoreless in the second half. So they put up 14 points.
Who was there? Did their defensive coordinator leave after last year?
I don't think it was last year. Because isn't he the head coach of the Cardinals? Gannon, didn't he come from?
No, Gannon came from Philly. For some reason, I thought their coordinator went somewhere else, but I don't think he got a head coaching job. So maybe I'm making stuff up. I'm trying to make excuses for them.
Saleh was their D coordinator, right? He just got let go. Maybe he'll go back.
Oh, he got fired?
Yeah, he got fired today.
You kept saying how you thought he was a bad coach, and I'm like, I don't know. I think he's not terrible. And I guess you were right.
Well, I don't know if I'm right, but Aaron Rodgers certainly seemed to think that he was a bad coach. And I think that probably is what carried a lot of weight.
Huh. Which it's interesting because like Rodgers, even admittedly so, is not like making the throws that he feels he should make. But wow, I did not think that was coming that quick.
Yeah, he didn't look great. He's not looked great. He's looked a little timid in the pocket. And I mean, there were a few weeks back, whenever they had a victory, he was in the pocket. He was throwing laser beams, but the complete game doesn't seem to be there for him right now.
Yeah,
I guess it's just not Saleh's fault.
So did they give Hackett the interim position to see how he could hack it together again?
Coordinator got it. Albrecht, something.
Huh. All right, interesting. The more you know.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about your Bears. They host the 1-4 Jaguars, who just beat Joe Flacco by a field goal. I had the Bears by 5.
So I have the Bears by 3, given 3.
Bears -3, and it is Bears 2.5. So you get that one. I am definitely, I don't know, like going against the Bears probably isn't a good strategy anymore. But okay, so when this line is only 2.5, like they're saying the Jags are a little bit better team, which seems weird, but I just feel like you have to trust that. And so I'm gonna put I don't know, 1 or 2 stars on the
It's in
Jags. I haven't
London,
decided yet.
and I think that's some of it as well because it's not a true home game for the Bears. It's in London.
Oh, that's where I screwed up. So I basically, let me see, you take the home field out of that. I would have said Bears 2. Yeah, I should have thought about that. So maybe I won't. Maybe that is just a very fair line. What do you think? Are your Bears for real or what?
I mean, they look good against, I don't know, what many people thought was the worst team in the league last week. Caleb Williams had over 300 yards again. He had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think they're going to beat the Jaguars this week because I don't think the Jaguars are very good. I mean, the London of it all, who knows? But I do think the Bears can come out of this 4-2. I just feel like over the next 6 games, you think you go another 4-2? I don't see it.
Yeah, I'd have to look at their schedule, but
I mean, they've got so they've got Jacksonville, then the bye, and then coming out of the bye, they're playing Washington. So
that's a loss.
I think so. I mean, you look at what Jaden Daniels has done so far, and you look at what Caleb Williams has done so far, and I don't know. It doesn't look like the same thing to me.
That's interesting. Though it's the matchup of the top 2 drafted quarterbacks. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
but I think they'll be 4-2 coming out of the weekend.
Yeah, the one thing, and I don't know if this really matters, but the Jaguars have played in London like every year for whatever, 10 years or whatever. Who knows? I don't know if that matters, but a rookie quarterback in London, maybe there's some inconsistency there. That's all I can think. But I think I'm not gonna give out anything on that one. I think let's just see what happens. Maybe are the Jags gonna try to go on a winning streak and actually I don't know, look decent, or
too many variables.
Or the Bears gonna whatever. Win another game and try to set themselves up to make the playoffs. And then, if Caleb keeps improving, then who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. We each got one so far. Yeah. So now we got the Bucks at the Saints.
Yes.
So Derek Carr had an oblique injury, didn't finish the game. So I guessed this thinking that he's 50-50. I just middled it. I figured if he plays, the Saints are probably barely favored. If he doesn't, the Bucks are probably 4. So I just went Bucks -1 right in the middle.
Yeah, and I missed that news about Carr. I've got the Saints given 3.5 or 3.
So we both slacked on our research a little bit. So I get that one. At the end of the day, it's a field goal. It's a field goal type game, no matter who you talk to. Let's see. The Bucks played Thursday, so they got a little extra rest.
Yeah, and then that's a pretty crappy loss though for them.
Yeah, no kid. I mean, they had that. I was
sure did.
I mean, they should have been able to at least kick a field goal. They get backed up, have to punt, and then
it was just a really shitty ending. Yeah, I mean, he came back. That division's going to go down to the wire again. I don't know if the Saints are going to be able to compete like they did last year, right down to. But it seems like Atlanta and Tampa are going to battle back and forth until we get a winner. Season.
Yeah. So obviously, whether Carr plays or not is a huge difference there. Yeah. Divisional game. Again, I don't know. I'm waiting for one that I actually feel strongly about. Let's go on. We got the Washington Commanders against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. I went Ravens by 3.
So I went Ravens by 3.5.
All right. Ravens 3.5. And it's 6.5. So you get that. All right. 2 things.
Too high, man.
1, why in the hell were the Browns only +3 at Washington? And 2, Why is Vegas not reacting to this and saying that Washington's for real?
That's a great question. I don't know. That's a lot of Ravens love, and I mean, I don't want to say they didn't have a great game, right? Because they won in overtime, but the Bengals fought, right? Like they were in that game. The
Oh, they
Bengals,
had it. Did you
yeah,
see the end of it
yeah.
with the botched hold?
Oh yeah. No, it was it was crazy.
Yeah, my son's a
But
Bengals fan. He's already had two pretty heartbreaking losses with the whole
yeah, it's
PI
not
against the Chiefs, and I mean,
but I mean, yeah, the Raiders, or excuse me, the Ravens didn't. I mean, they looked competitive, I guess. But so does why. It's a weird line. It's a weird line.
yeah,
It's not like the Ravens blew the doors off everybody they've played. They started 0-2.
yeah. I mean, there could be like injuries or something. Obviously, I don't usually look into that, especially early in the week. But
No,
um, the I always say like motivation, this, that. It hasn't seemed to matter for the Commanders so far. They've been ready to play every
yeah,
game, but the Ravens, like if you're going into this game as the Ravens, like you were the best team in the regular season last year. You got this young quarterback. Your defense is supposed to be like these absolute like dogs, like physical. Like
yeah.
the Ravens are gonna have the juice. Like so I get it a little bit, but at the same time, like the Commanders
Not
have
as well.
played everyone tough.
That's right. Like they've played really well. Um, and so they scored, let's see, 34 points, 42 points, 38 points, and then all the way back on September 15th, they scored 21 points. And then okay, so they lost in the season opener to Tampa Bay, 37 points. They're scoring over 30 points the last 3 weeks. That's just so weird. Like, and the Ravens defense hasn't been as good. It just hasn't been as
Right.
good as it has been. So this is
Yeah.
another line that's sort of inexplicable to me based on the reality of the last few weeks.
Yeah. I, like if you're betting this game, like I don't know. Like I guess you just have to like go with Washington until
I
Vegas
mean, that
adjusts to
feels like the
them. But
play.
at the same time, it's like it's probably high for a reason. So no stars on that one for me.
Uh,
All right, let's go on. We got four down and more
many to
than
go.
four to go.
Uh,
Okay, the Cardinals and the Packers have something in common. They both beat the Rams. They're
did.
both coming off a win, and I have the Packers by 6.
I have the Packers giving 4.
Oh, split.
Boom.
It's 5.
5. Yeah.
So we tie that one. So it's 2-2 with a tie.
Yeah.
Oh, Cardinals. I did I I did say last week, I said I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals won, and I think they're gonna stay in that game. Even though I don't even
Yeah.
think I threw some stars at it. I should have obviously, but you could argue the other way too. They were down by 2 scores and you know,
Yeah.
whatever. Pulled it out. Um I like the Cardinals haven't had any consistency. The Packers have been more consistent, just like overall as a team. I don't. I mean, I guess it's a fair line, but like, I guess I just expect the Packers at home. Love is 100% to kind of take care of the game and like not take the Cards lightly and just kind of cover that. But at the same time, it's lower than I thought, so I don't know. A little that's the theme of the week. Like I'm confused and don't really know what I like.
The Cardinals are a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team. They seem to be able to come out of nowhere after like having a shitty performance one week and then just blowing the doors off of somebody else. So maybe that's factoring in here a little bit. And then Green Bay has kind of struggled a bit. I mean, the Rams played both of these teams close. Um,
Yeah, Cardinals flying up to Green Bay. I don't know. Like it just, like I feel like the Packers win this game. Like
Yeah.
that would be a lot for the Cardinals to go on the road 2 weeks in a row, beat the Niners, beat the Packers.
Yeah.
But it's only five. Anything can happen in the NFL, so I don't know. Let's
True.
just leave it at that.
And the Cardinals actually did not play the Rams close. They blew the doors off. It's 41-10. So never mind. Ignore what I said. Ignore what I
All
said.
right.
And then Rams played the Packers close, but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird game. You know what? I'll take the Cardinals here. You can put 2 stars. I'll take the Cardinals.
Book it.
Yeah. So that means if you're betting, take the Rams.
The Packers.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah.
The Rams. The Rams don't even play this week.
No, they're off. So definitely take the Rams.
You will get your money back.
That's
All
right.
right. Colts at the Titans. I went Titans by 1.
Okay, I've got Titans giving 2.
Okay, and it is Indy -1.
Yeah.
Which means I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. 2-1, this way, that way. Like,
Yeah.
it's basically a pick 'em, no matter how you look at it. I mean, the Colts have been underwhelming. The Titans have been more underwhelming. Titans did have their bye, right? I wonder if Rudolph is starting.
So, I mean, he had some success for them.
Right.
It would make sense, right? This is a new regime. They didn't draft Levis. It seems like the solid play, right? Because Levis just has not looked good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they actually do. I mean, obviously, it's probably public knowledge at this point, like what they're gonna do. But I guess who cares? Like, is Richardson? I'm assuming plays. I don't even know if he's better for the team right now than Flacco. But the Colts defense is bad. Like they seem to be giving up points to everyone.
The Bears.
Yeah, I don't know how you trust either one of these teams.
No, this is like I don't know. The Colts. You thought they would. They looked pretty good last year with Minshew. Now they don't look so great with Richardson, and I know this is kind of like a rookie year for him, so he's sort of figuring things out. I think I do like the Colts here better, especially if Flacco's playing. I think I like them to win this game.
All right. Yeah, I mean, they're the slightly better team, but
Yeah.
I guess they are favored on the road, so maybe that maybe there is something there.
Yeah.
For the Coltskis.
Yeah.
All right.
Flacco magic.
The Texans at the Patriots. The Texans finally beat a good team, maybe. Although the Bills looks kind of bad the last couple weeks. Allen might be banged up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe next week we'll look at we did predictions on over-unders for teams. Maybe we'll look back at those. We kind of got a good sample size. We'll see how those are going. Been a lot of I know that NFL is always a lot of up and down, but it just seems like, the Chiefs won every game and the Vikings obviously are an anomaly, and like the Redskins or whatever, the Commanders have played a lot better than maybe they were supposed to. But every other team, it's like, oh, they look great, and then it's like, oh, they look like a shitburger, It's
up 1 week, down the next.
Yeah. Okay, Texans at the Patriots. Speaking of shitty teams, the Patriots are one of them. I have the Texans by 6.
So I have them given 7.5.
You got it, but it's 7, so you get it by a half point. Man, yeah, it should be more than a touchdown. I think the Patriots are. I mean, they lost to a Dolphins team with Huntley at quarterback.
Yeah.
At home, the Dolphins at times look like they've given up on the season, but the Patriots are so bad that it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. What is it? Just me, or is there just a lot of shitty games this week? I guess there's buys, so fewer teams are playing.
Yeah, I think that's some of it. I also think Drake May is starting this week, is what I read.
Oh, really?
He's going to get the nod.
Huh. Yeah, it'll be. I mean, it's time for someone to pay attention to the Patriots for a little bit to see how he does.
I guess it seems to me they should pick probably maybe a weaker opponent. I mean, the Texans look. I mean, they're 4-1, right? So they're competing for that number one spot against the Kansas City, and Kansas City just hasn't looked amazing. I mean, I know they're 5-0, but they haven't looked amazing in getting there. So you figure they're going to at least lose one game.
Yeah, and the Texans have just looked. Texans have looked like. I mean,
great.
just like the most underwhelming 4-1 team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they don't look terrific, and the Vikings kind of handle them. The best team that they've played,
Yeah,
close against the Jaguars. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, this game just who really knows? Like if May's starting, obviously you got to do like you don't know what you're gonna get. So
that's right.
Gotta see what happens. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Browns living up to their name, and the Eagles off a bye. And the Eagles, who did the Eagles lose to before the bye?
Was it Tampa? They got stomped by Tampa, right?
Yeah, was that week 4? Probably, yeah. So both teams are kind of like, I don't want to say there's turmoil in Philly or anything like that, but they're not playing as well as they're supposed to.
There's some strife though. Like it's not all sunshine and roses there.
Yeah, and so I know we get a lot wrong, but
yeah,
I said before the season, I said the Browns might go, start like 1-3 or 1-4 or 2 and whatever, and look out if they do because that thing could just all fall apart. I mean, they've got some characters who, like they got more players who I think aren't going to play super hard if they're out of the playoff chase. And then you got the allegations against Watson, and like he's terrible. He looks like a high school quarterback.
Yeah, not good.
I think you almost have to see Jameis Winston. I would think.
You would think. Yes, they're probably sitting there kicking themselves that didn't keep Flacco.
Yeah, for sure. I went Eagles 6.5.
All right, so I went lower. I went Eagles given 4.5.
8.5. So Vegas finally said the Browns are fucking awful, basically.
Right, but the Eagles might be too. And it was Tampa they lost to in week 4. It was like 34-16 or something. They got stopped.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of points.
That's a big line. That's a big line for a team whose coach and quarterback hate each other.
Right. But, I mean, like, Vegas is clearly saying, I think the Browns have kind of given up and or just aren't good. So, I don't know. Like,
both may be true, but
is Stefanski's job on the line?
I think people like him as a coach, but like the results on the field, they were a playoff team last year, right? Like they were 11-6. They looked good, and then the Texans kicked them in the teeth, and they ran away with that game. I don't know. I don't see how you get rid of Stefanski.
Well, here's the thing:
season?
Where was he at on the decision to get Watson? Was that just management, or like was he adamant about it, or?
I mean, does it matter? Like, if the management fucks up, seems like they're the type of management to just shit can everybody, regardless of whose decision it was.
Yeah, I don't think it matters whether he gets fired or not, but I think it matters on like whether it's actually him that's part of the problem or not. But
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what you do with that either. I mean, can we get a good matchup? Chargers at the Broncos. I guessed Broncos by 3.
I've got Broncos given 3.5.
And we both are way off. Like the Chargers are favored by 3. There's got to be a major injury or something like that, or else, like I don't know.
Broncos are decent, man. Like I don't.
Yeah,
they're 3-2.
I don't know. I don't get that. Chargers by 3. Sure, I guess. Like, I think I'm gonna go Chargers because it doesn't make any sense to me. But at the same time, just scratching my head. I'm gonna go 1 star on the Chargers.
Maybe because they're coming off the bye.
Yeah, and
I
I like
guess.
I'll have to watch the like. Did Knicks get hurt or something? I don't know.
No, I don't think
But
so.
well, maybe Herbert's like 100% actually for once. And
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
Harbaugh off the bye, like he seems like the guy who could really like scheme it up, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers 1 star on that one. Let's do the Steelers and Raiders. I have the Steelers by 1.5.
I've got the Steelers given 3.
Ooh, I think you nailed it.
Uh,
Yep, you did.
it's just they didn't look great last. Oh no, that was 2 nights ago. The never-ending football game, never starting football game. Uh, I just, I watched that game. I There's been a lot of Fields love recently, and I don't know. He looked like the same quarterback who left Chicago, and without
Absolutely.
any of the explosive running plays.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, he got his bell rung a couple times too. And like
He did.
Russell Wilson wasn't even active, right?
Oh, he wasn't.
I don't think so. Because uh Kyle Allen, did Kyle Allen come in for a play or he was warming up? What
Yes.
I was, like I've kind of been more of a supporter of Russell Wilson than everyone else in the world. Like recently, I just like their defense is good. Like if Russell Wilson is half as good as his best year,
Yeah.
like they might be really good, but he can't get healthy, and it like Fields is starting to suck. It's
Yep.
like, what's going on? Like, did they like remove his calf? Does it just not work anymore? What's going on? Like,
I don't. I
I don't
don't think they
understand
want
it.
to start him. Honestly, I think it is like it's the injury. It's a lingering injury because they've been winning with Fields. Now that has stopped, and again, he didn't look great. Like there were plays he left on the field, passing plays he left on the field, and I just, I think a few weeks ago we were talking about can you if Wilson is healthy, can you start him over Fields? I mean, I think given the last couple of weeks, the answer is yes. Like, there's no
Yeah,
reason
absolutely.
not to start him if he's healthy over Fields because Fields is not. He doesn't look like Jaden Daniels or C.J. Stroud or even close. C.J. Stroud, like he doesn't. So I don't know. Sit him and see what you get with Wilson, which honestly I don't think is going to be that. I'm not sure if it's an upgrade, but what do you got to lose at this point?
Right. And at the same, I mean, they're 3-2. Like,
Yep.
just figure it out a little bit, and you're still going to make the playoffs. I mean, it's
Well, that's right
early.
there in the division, right? Like, because the Ravens are 3-2 as well, because they started 0-2. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, they're right there. They're right there. And I mean, granted, they had the division. They could have had it by like a 2-game lead if they'd played better the last 2 weeks. But
Yeah. I don't really like the Cowboys one bit. So
no,
I watched the end of that game, and I'm
no,
just like,
uh,
seriously, come on, like whatever,
no. I just
whatever.
no faith in the coaching staff. I like Dak Prescott, I guess, but mm, they're just a team that's designed to like underwhelm. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Uh,
All right, Falcons at the Panthers, a little NFC South action. I got Falcons by 4.
I got them by 4.5.
Oh, you dirty dog!
I
You
threw the
get it.
hook on it.
That's 6.
Yeah. I,
So
I mean, I should have been higher. The Falcons, after that victory, and the Panthers looked like turds.
yeah, I mean,
They look bad.
if Kirk Cousins can keep doing what he's doing in the fourth quarter and overtime, like the rest of the Falcons roster is just solid. Um, I don't like they look like absolutely a playoff team. And then
They do.
I mean, I've always said feel like Cousins like in the big moments kind of doesn't feel a pressure from the backside and like sack fumble sort of situation. So I don't know that I really like see them winning two playoff games or anything like that. But I mean, at the same time, I guess they've had kind of a tough schedule and they're 3-2. Like they've been playing decent.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and that was a hell of a win. I mean, that game felt over. You know,
Yeah.
was like 45 seconds left or something like that, or like less than a minute, right around a minute, and they come back, force overtime, and then they win. It's just a little bit of a flukiness in the overtime play, but they stuck around. They had the mental fortitude to win. That's pretty. I mean, that speaks a lot. Again, I don't think they're. I think 9-8 probably wins this division again. That feels about right. That both Tampa and the Falcons will probably hover around 500 for most of the season. But yeah, I could see them winning the division and making the playoffs. And Tampa won a game last year in the playoffs against the dysfunctional Eagles. Who knows? But yeah, I think either one of those teams looks like make the play. Maybe both of them will with 7 teams. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Cousins threw for 500 yards. Like he was absolutely like prime Kirk Cousins. Like he was.
Yeah.
And then it was that game where he threw that deep hitch or whatever to Mooney, and he threw it as he was like coming out of his break, and Mooney, like, it was so perfect that he was so surprised that it was there. He's like, the Bears quarterbacks never did this for me.
No.
And he just it went right off his chest plate and just hit the ground. Like that was crazy.
Like the fact that he's like the number 1 wide receiver right now, like in Atlanta or in anywhere, it's just, that's crazy to me.
Yeah,
because the Bears couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Yeah, he scored a few touchdowns and had a lot of yards. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like you get like a quarterback who can really sling it, and then some of these receivers, you're like, oh, they really weren't that bad.
Yeah.
All right, Lions at the Cowboys. Here we go. That
that
could be a good game. I went Lions I went Pick'em.
I have the Lions minus 2.5.
Oh, you got 3 in a row. You took the lead. So listen, this is the rematch. Remember last year that botched call?
Oh yeah.
The
tackle
eligible. Mm-hmm. No, this guy said he was eligible.
Yeah.
Just a complete miss by the official. So obviously the Lions are not going to have any lack of motivation going into this game. I said pick them. Lions are minus 3. I mean, so the Lions are favored when I didn't think they would be. You got the motivation again from last year with the whole like we got screwed. This is absolutely a Lions pick for me. On the road, favored. It's a little tough. I think I'm going to go 2 stars on that. I just really still don't think the Cowboys are very good. So
yeah,
I think the Lions put up 30 on them pretty easily.
I mean, I think I like the Lions here too. I think that the Cowboys are on their way out. Again, they probably should have changed coaches last year.
Yeah, Lions 3-1. Oh, that's another thing. Lions off a bye, right? Yeah. Lions off a bye too. Man, that's like I should bump that to a 3-star, but I don't know. Well, road team favored by 3 is kind of a little bit tough, but yeah, I mean, I expect the Lions to win that game. Absolutely.
Yep. Me too.
Okay, we got 2 left, so it must be Sunday night, Monday night. We got the Bengals at the Giants. The Bengals are looking for a crappy team that they can maybe win a game against. They've played a couple good teams tough, but they're sitting at 1-4. And now you get the Giants, who all of a sudden like might be decent on the road. Yeah. So,
well, that's what I thought. That's how I guessed, but not according to the lines.
I guess Bengals 2.5. What do you got?
I have Lions given 3.
Bengals, you mean?
No, I have the Lions or the Giants. Excuse me, Giants
minus 3. All right. Yeah. And so it's Bengals 3.5.
Yeah, the Bengals.
So I get that one. Yeah. All right, here's another one. Geez, I'm starting to like some stuff. No, geez. Bengals off a loss. Like they're not going to give up on the season. Like they've had some tough luck. Giants just went on the road to Seattle, got a win when in a game
Yep.
that they were big underdogs.
Uh-huh.
This is the Giants coming home. This is a wet fart Giants game right here for sure. Now, the Bengals defense has given up a million points to every team. So
Yeah.
are they going to win by 4? Uh, I guess that's a little bit tougher, but it does feel like they're showing Daniel Jones midway through the third quarter, and it's like 40-7 Bengals or something like that. And Jones is like 3 for
Wow.
14 passing. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it just has that feel to me.
Feels. Yeah.
Um, 3.5's tough, but it sort of
Yeah.
has a
On the
similar
road.
feel to me as like the
Yeah.
Lions at the Cowboys. So I'll
Yeah.
still, I mean, road favorites are tough, but let's do another 2 stars on the Bengals. All right, we got one left, and then we'll wrap it up. We got the Bills at the Jets. I have a pick 'em.
Huh. Well, I have the Jets giving 3. So I should have adjusted this after they fired Sala, but you'd usually get like a dead coach bounce. So
That's true. So it's 2.5, which means I get that.
yeah.
So I win the week by 1. Um, okay, so obviously Josh Allen is healthy given
Yep.
this line, and obviously Vegas
Yep.
doesn't really think that the coach being gone is going to matter much. I'm confused by this. Like,
Yep.
I don't know if you can trust either one of these teams at this point. I
Bills are
think,
lost 2 in a row. It's they've not looked
yeah,
good. You know,
yeah, the Bills haven't looked good. Neither of the Jets, but the
no.
Jets are at home. They fired the coach. Like,
Yep.
you always see those teams play hard that next
Yep.
week.
That's right.
The Bills could also find their, find themselves a little bit again and win this game handily as well. Like I don't know. Hopefully it's a good game. I mean, Allen versus Rodgers. It'd be nice to see both of them like
Yeah.
play up to their potential and get a good Monday night game. But I don't really have an opinion on this one.
No, I mean, and the Jets are still in the division race. That this division might suck. You
Yeah,
know, so they're right there. It's 2-3 versus 3-2. If the Jets win this game, then they're tied atop the division with the Bills, and they're trending better than the Bills are at that point because that would
yeah,
be 3 in a row for the Bills.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, so I sort of lean Jets, but that line being the Bills' favor just seems a little like
yeah,
off to me. So I don't know. I'm staying away from that one.
yeah, yeah.
No
I only can't pick one
stars.
game. Yeah,
All right. 14 games.
yeah,
Kind of a bad week for matchups. Like, who's on bye? There must be good teams on bye because this just seems
yeah. Well,
like
Kansas
not.
City's on a bye.
Oh, and the Vikings, the two
Yeah, the
undefeated
Vikings
teams
are
on
on a
the
bye.
list.
That's right. Yep, yep.
Huh. Yeah, wow. Vikings 5-0 going into the bye. I would have said go F yourself if you told me that was going to
Yeah,
happen.
that's crazy. But they look
Yeah.
so good, man. They've got the best defense in the league right now.
Yeah. I mean, they're causing havoc for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No one can figure out floors yet. So hopefully that
Yeah.
stays that way until like mid
Oh yeah.
February.
Uh yeah, I need to pick 2 more games because I only picked one.
You
Uh
have to? Is that your rule?
I mean, I feel like I should pick more than one.
Yeah, scan them. Scan them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take the Broncos over the Chargers.
Uh-oh.
Give me 3 on that.
Oh,
That's a 3-star for me. Uh and I'm gonna take the Giants over the Bengals. Give me 2 stars on that.
whoa. We got two head-to-head flashes this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so wrapping up, we got Josh likes the Cardinals for 2 stars, +5 at the Packers,
Yeah.
and also the Broncos 3 stars, +3 at home against the Chargers, and then also the Giants for 2 stars, +2.5
Yeah.
at home against the Bengals. I like the Chargers 1 star, Lions -3 for 2, and the Bengals -3.5 for 2. So light on the picks this week. Maybe that's our best option is
Yeah.
like the fewer we pick. Like we
Less
pick
chance for
one,
error.
maybe we can get one right.
We'll see. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath.
Uh, Shitty matchups, I said, but it's the NFL. Any game could be entertaining. So
It's true.
we'll leave it at that. Go
Woo!
Vikings!
Go Bears.